Okay, folks, we are back, and we are talking trash talking and showboating, and how these professional athletes are having an impact on our kids. And you know what? While we were on break, I think we worked out the phone issues, and so we are going to try to go to Frank, who is calling in from Long Island. Hey, Frank, you're on Let Them Play. No, we are not. We're nowhere with the phones today. All right, tell you what we're going to do. If you guys have your ideas, we're going to have to rely on emails here. So send your emails. So Nooch and Frank, I know you got some stories that you want to tell. Email them to heycoachtony@gmail.com. And we are 2 for 2 the last 2 weeks with this studio technology. The good news is we got some messages in from some of our folks, and we will continue to go for them. Mike, actually, Mike sent us in a message. Mike from the Meadowlands. Mike writes in and says, hey, Coach Tony, you're a Steelers fan, but you should still be objective. One of your guys, Ike Taylor, was quoted in the press this week as saying that Santonio Holmes should be, quote, ready for some pain, and that if he has the chance, he'll lay Holmes out. If that's not trash talking, then what is? Can you believe that? The high and mighty Steelers are trash talking too. Don't be a hypocrite. Well, Mike, congratulations. You have officially taken the lead in the 2011 Mongo of the Year award. Because here's another Jets fan who has to read the paper with a partner who can help him out with the big words. First, let me state, in all fairness, that you are absolutely correct. Ike Taylor, who was a cornerback for the Steelers, did indeed say those things this week to the press. What Mike the Mongo failed to mention, however, is that Ike Taylor and Santonio Holmes are former teammates for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are still terrific friends. In fact, they work out together in the off-season. So it's obvious, Mike, you never picked up a ball in your life, because when it comes to a personal relationship like this is not trash talking. This is what I would equate to, it's what we used to do in baseball back in college, and we used to call it ragging. And this is stuff that is meant, it's meant to be funny and just to get in somebody's head. It is never personal. It's never said in anger. It's never said to elicit a response like a fight or anything like that. What you read, Mike, or had read to you this week, is a classic example of two competitive guys who know and like each other, and one of them cordially poked the other in the eye and is looking forward to trying to outdo him in the upcoming game. That's it, and nothing else. A few reporters have mentioned this in hopes of making it a story like the Cromartie nonsense from last week. But you know what? The guys who have actually played a sport in their lives were very quick to point out exactly what I just outlined. Bottom line, Mike the Mongo, nice try, but I'm not buying it, and neither is anybody else. What Ike Taylor did this past week is nowhere near comparable to what Cromartie did, and anyone who doesn't see that is just not paying attention, unfortunately. All right, we got plenty of emails here, and we're going to be logging in and checking on more of them in just a minute. But we got one in from Jeff, who wrote in from Croton this week and asks, hey, Coach Tony. This is actually a serious one. I like this one. This is obviously becoming a big deal. I personally hate it when I see a kid showboating or talking smack during the game. It can take a kid who should be viewed as a talented player and turns him into the kid that all the parents hate. So my question is this: how do you stop it as a parent or a coach? All right, Jeff, great point, and thanks for taking it away from the Jets and the Steelers for just a second. So we finally have an intelligent question and one worthy of a thoughtful answer. First, let's look at this as a parent. When all is said and done, the coach really has the final say in all this stuff. Let's face it, that's the fact. But that doesn't mean that you can't have an impact on this as a parent. Here's what I'd suggest. First of all, if it is your own kid, I think it's pretty easy, right? You have to make it clear to your child that that type of behavior is just not going to be tolerated. And as a parent, make sure that you've got some kind of a punishment in place if that happens. I mean, that's the simplest way to do this. Now let's go with the scenario that it's not your kid and you're a decent parent and your kid has a teammate who acts this way and you want it to stop. My suggestion would be, first things first, set a time to talk with the coach. Don't ever try to address it after the game. We went through all that stuff many times before, why you don't talk to a coach during, before, during, or right after a game. So set a time to talk with the coach, and when you get your time with him or her, let them know how embarrassing it is for you as a parent to sit in the stands and cheer for a team that has such a disrespectful player on it. I mean, I can't imagine a coach who could possibly disagree with that if you frame it the right way. Just make sure the coach knows just how important it is to you. And I hope that helps. In the absence of the phone lines, we're going to have to go to some more emails here, and we will go to Concerned Dad, who writes in and says, "Hey, Coach Tony, this behavior is no different than any other behavior in your child. You need look no further than mom and dad." Good point. He goes on to say, I can't read what he says, but you show me a blank kid who talks smack and showboats, and I'll bet there's a blank mom or dad in the stands who's cheering them on. Now, also, it is important to note that even if the kid does indeed have morons for parents, the coach should still step in and make sure that type of behavior does not occur. We're not doing brain surgery here. We're just trying to get our kids to grow up and not be jerks. Well, very well said, Concerned Dad, and I got to tell you, I cannot disagree with you. One of my favorite sayings in all of parenting is this, and you know what? It applies to pets as well as children. So if you're a dog and cat lover without children, you're probably not listening to the show, but listen to this one. It goes like this: there are no bad kids, only bad parents. So, mom and dad, take a look at how your kids behave on and off the field. And if you're not happy, or perhaps you overhear other parents talking about your child and what a jerk your kid is, well, that's right. It is your fault. And so straighten out your act. If you know, TJ's here in studio with us today, and sometimes he wonders why I get so upset based on some of his behavior. And, well, now you'll hear it and everyone else will hear it, TJ. Your behavior is a direct reflection upon me as a dad. Oh, he's clapping his hands. I guess TJ approves. If you're a jerk in the classroom or on the field or out in public or whatever, if you're a jerk, it means that the people you're a jerk to view me as a failure as a dad. Now, the good news is TJ happens to be a very respectable and respectful kid, and he is very well liked among his peers and among my friends as parents. We hear lots of good things about him and his behavior. So obviously I'm not only a terrific radio host, I am also a very good parent, and so I take a lot of pride in that. Are we going to take another crack at the phones?
I did totally messed up here, but your wife called giving an update for your girls game. And they are losing 20-12 at the half.
Wow, that does not look good.
Does not look good.
Okay.
But I think Frank is going to send us an email.
All right, so we'll log in onto the email and we'll start reading these, because I know between Nooch and Frank there are a couple of good stories there, and we will absolutely, guys, I wish you could tell them firsthand, and we'll figure it out. Matter of fact, I tell you what, Frank, I may try to dial you in directly, and then we'll try to do it with Nooch as well. But so I tell you what we may do. Can we go to an early break and try to figure this out? Tell you what, we're going to go to a quick break right now and try to figure out this phone situation. So stick around, folks. We'll be right back.